Welcome, everybody. On today's episode, I am going to be going over my I Know a Guy supplement that I created. This is a one-page supplement, and it allows players to say, hey, I know a guy, and roll a bunch of dice and generate a random NPC that you can then use in your game. So I'm going to talk about the supplement, and then I'm also going to create a couple of characters using it so you can get a feel for some of the tables. And if you're interested in checking out the supplement, you can find it on my Patreon. I will leave a link to it in the show notes. And I may end up publishing this to DriveThruRPG as well. So here is the process that is written on one of the sheets. So this is, I said it's a one-page sheet. One page, the first page is tables, and then the second page just has a little bit of information on how to use the tables, some optional rules, and then space for notes if you wanted to write down what you rolled. But that second page is pretty much completely optional. You really just need the one page for the tables. So the process, when a player says, I know a guy, or it would be reasonable that they do in fact know a guy, use the tables to quickly generate an NPC and some motivations. Have the player name the character, then roll all 7 dice in a polyhedral set. So your D4, D6, D8, D10, D100, D12, and D20. And then once you've got all of your results, go through each one and ask a follow-up question to get a little bit more specific. So if they owe you, why do they owe you? If they were imprisoned, who were they imprisoned by? If they need help negotiating a deal, what is it for? And that will give you a little bit more of a fleshed out NPC to work with. And then optional ways of using the table. So one of the tables is the hidden agenda. So as the game master, you can share or hide the hidden agenda with the players. Personally, I find that the players, but not the characters, knowing about the secrets tend to generate a little bit more tension. Limited, if you don't want players to use this all the time, consider requiring them to spend some sort of meta currency to trigger the roll, such as inspiration or fate points or some other in-game currency. Actually, allow the players to reroll the result they don't want or flat out pick the result from the table. You can put limits on this as needed, such as spending meta currency to do so, or only allowing them to change a certain number of the rolls. Or collaborative, which is instead of rolling, to better fine-tune the rolled NPC, the player and the game master can take turns picking or rolling an option from each of the tables until all of the results are filled. So there's just a couple of sample options and ways to use this set of random tables. And really the inspiration for this came from a TikTok and a little bit of the conversation that I had with Sean on episode 70 and one of his TikTok videos, just saying, let the players know a guy, let them come up with these sort of things. And he mentioned a few, possible things, which I ended up turning into tables here. And I thought, why not just, you don't get to roll your entire set of dice that often. So let's make a random table where I can just pick up my whole set, chuck it on the table, and then read the bones and see who we have. So that is the heart of the supplement. And now let's jump into a couple of examples. For this sample of characters that we're going to be creating, I am coming up with a few random scenarios because we're not just going to roll these tables and not have any background. You would use this in an actual game. So I'm going to give us a little bit of context first for a situation that the party might find themselves in. And then we're going to roll on the tables and then come up with an NPC and kind of fit them into that story. So to start out with this, I used ChatGPT to give me 3 random encounters where the party might need to know somebody for some reason. And I think these are good enough. It just spat out a couple little paragraphs, and we'll go from there. So the first one is Goblin Infestation. A nearby village is being overrun by a group of goblins that have taken over an old abandoned mine. The party is tasked with clearing out the goblins and reclaiming the mine. They may need help of an NPC miner who knows the layout of the mine and can guide them through its twists and turns. So this is the quest, and this is kind of the person that we are looking for. So we're looking for a miner, and I'm going to go ahead and roll all of my dice. Okay, so for my rolls, I got 1, 5, 3, 7, 9, 3, and 11. And this table, when you read it, it actually is from smallest dice to the largest dice. So D4, D6, D8, all the way through to the D20. And let's just go through and talk about what it is. So for who owes who, this is our D4 table. We got a 1 and you owe them. For attitude towards you, we got 5. They are adversarial. That was our D6 table. D8, why haven't you heard from them? Was 3. They were out of town. What do they want? This is our D10 table. We rolled a 7, and they want us to rescue a person or a group of people from danger or captivity. So this already is kind of tying into this goblin infestation. Our next D10, so this is the like D100 dice, so the 0, 0, 1, 0, 20, 30, 40, whatever. This was a 90, so their hidden agenda is that they are seeking to preserve a secret, which I think is interesting, being that they know a lot of information about the mines. So that makes me think that there may be something hidden in the mines that they don't necessarily want the goblins or the party to find out about. Known for, this is our D12 table. This was a 3, known for tracking down informations or secrets, which again really ties into him wanting to preserve a secret about the mine. Maybe he made some sort of a discovery. Actually, we don't even know if it's a he or not. We will get to that in a minute. And then the D20 quirk or personality, we have 11. He has a fear of a particular animal such as spiders or snakes. And the thing that I should have done first is to have picked out a name for him. So I'm going to roll a D20 quick and see what kind of a name we can come up with. So his name is Lucius Ravenswood. This is in a mine, so I would presume that he's maybe a dwarf character of some kind. And he's an interesting character already. The name even works with it. This Ravenswood is kind of a spooky, creepy name to have. Known for getting secrets and information, and as part of the quest, we know that he knows information about getting through the mines. So that's good. I think his quirk also ties into this quest really well, that he's afraid of snakes or spiders, or some other animal or creature. So I think spiders makes a lot of sense for being inside of a mine. So perhaps the secret thing that he has found is maybe there's some treasure chest, there's a magic item or something that he's found. And the problem is that he's deathly afraid of spiders, and there are spiders that have kind of built a nest around where this treasure is. So he's probably wanting the players to not only deal with the goblins, but also to get this set of treasure out as well. And that could be an interesting interaction for him to just like not want to be anywhere near the spider webs or spiders or anything. One of the other options that we got for the role was that he wants the party to rescue a person or a group of people from danger or captivity. So since this is a goblin infestation, my guess here, leaning into what makes the most sense, would be that there may be some other miners that have been trapped or imprisoned by the goblins, and so he's wanting to get them out. I mean, not only do you want to help the village and clear the goblins out of here, but there's miners that are stuck that are being imprisoned here. So it does say that the nearby village has been overrun by a group of goblins and have taken over an abandoned mine. Wouldn't be a huge stretch to say that they have taken prisoners. So that answers that question. Now, who owes who? This could be interesting. You owe them a favor. And this one, maybe we won't get into quite as much because I don't have a full party backstory in this situation. But moving on to the attitude was adversarial. And I think some of this, could come down to, you owe them. You obviously didn't leave off in maybe the best of places. Maybe you owe them a loan of money, or you were going to do some job for them and it kind of fell through. And the adversarial attitude would also kind of play into that a little bit, in that it's not necessarily that he's unfriendly or doesn't trust you. He's not necessarily on your side either. I mean, he has a goal. He's got some sort of a treasure that he's found that he wants to probably keep for himself or for the mine at large. And he's not really looking to share that information, but he's going to want to try to get the players to help him out with it as best as he can. So I think he won't necessarily be misleading or hostile, but he's going to kind of withhold some of the information if he can, because he has his own goals. He's got his own stuff and bills to pay, and he's got this, potential jackpot hidden in the caves, and he just needs to get these goblins cleared out so that he can make his fortune and retire. He's known for tracking down information or secrets. I don't know if there's a whole lot to say here other than maybe it informs us a little bit about what his job is. I mean, he particularly would be helpful in knowing the layout of the mines, and so maybe he's some sort of a architect, mine planning, layout planning, something like that. Deals with a lot of paperwork, architectural drawings, or maybe it ties him back to the town in some way. Maybe he has some connections. He's very good at kind of the political intrigue piece of things where he's getting information, especially as business owners tend to know a lot of other business owners in the local area. So maybe using some of those business connections. He's good at getting information from other people in the town. And I definitely think that hidden agenda is some sort of a treasure, something really precious that he found is in there, but maybe can't necessarily get out or is trying to kind of cover that up. And I think that kind of works well with his name, Lucius Ravenswood, and some of the other personality things that we've rolled here. So overall, I think he's a great character. I'm actually a little bit surprised at how well this fit right into the scenario that we have here. So let's move on to scenario number 2, which is the missing heirloom. A wealthy merchant has lost a valuable family heirloom and suspects that it has been stolen by a rival merchant. The party is hired to investigate the theft and retrieve the heirloom. They may need the help of an NPC fence who can provide them with information about the local thieves guild and help them track down the stolen goods. So we some interesting characters here. We're going to have to get a shady character here that is in league with or knows about the local thieves guild. And it kind of seems potentially that Mr. Lucius Ravenswood would potentially know something about that, but we will roll a new character up. Let's pick out a name first. I've got a D20 list of names actually generated by ChatGPT. I know AI is in an interesting state in general. It is fun to use it for some of these little things where it's like, hey, I just need this. I need this specific thing. Just give me a list of things. Really good at generating some quick roll tables when you need them. So I rolled a 10. So this is Maximus Swiftblade. This is our merchant. No, this is not the merchant. This is the NPC fence, Maximus Swiftblade. Definitely sounds like somebody who would be in league with a thieves guild. So then let's go ahead and roll our set of dice and see what kind of a character we can come up with. Okay, so we have our random NPC. We rolled a 4, 3, 7, 2, 7, 5, and 15. So for who owes who, no favors are owed. Their attitude towards you is 3, indifferent. Why haven't you heard from them? 7, they are in danger. What do they want? 2, to protect them or a location from danger. That makes sense. They are in danger currently. A hidden agenda, 7, addicted to a particular substance or activity and will do whatever it takes to continue their addiction. Probably why they have landed themselves in danger. Known for 5, intimidating others into compliance, which also makes sense for somebody who would be potentially working with the Thieves Guild. And quirk or personality, 15, tends to speak in rhymes or poetry. So that will be interesting. A person named Maximus Swiftblade, I could see them potentially speaking in rhyme poetry or just being generally like super confident, right? So okay, so going down the list, no favors are owed. So this is somebody that we just know, but we've got a clean slate with them. Their attitude is indifferent. So again, since there's no favors owed, they're maybe just more of an acquaintance of some sort. They really don't care. They're just in it for the money. Maximus Swiftblade is in it for the money. We haven't heard from them because Maximus is in danger. And I think that ties really well into his next 3, which is that he wants to either be protected from, or a location to be protected from danger. I think this actually should just be himself. I think he's gotten into hot water because his hidden agenda is that he's addicted to some type of a substance. So this could be a substance, or it could be like gambling or something, would make a lot of sense here. He owes a lot of money to somebody from some gambling he did. And he needs a little bit of protection because they're trying to get him to pay up, would be the thing that makes the most sense here for me. Number 5, he's known for intimidating others into compliance. Again, working with the Thieves Guild, I think that this theme makes sense. He's Swiftblade, but he also seems like he's the kind of person who maybe he's kind of the muscle and he doesn't, like to take his blade out that much. But he puts his money where his mouth is typically, and then, then he loses it to gambling, so then he's in hot water with even bigger fish than him. And then the quirk or personality tends to speak in rhymes or poetry. That one would be interesting to roleplay. I would not be very good at that. But so we have this missing heirloom. So you need to go find it. You need to meet with this fence who can provide information about the local Thieves Guild, help track down stolen goods. I don't know if there's a whole lot that we really need to add into this. I think that there's kind of like a two-pronged quest here, right? Like you're trying to track down this guy to get a hold of Maximus Swiftblade, because he's the one who's got the information. He can tell you where the Thieves Guild is at. If, he's a fence, so he can probably tell you if these heirlooms have been sold on the black market. But before he can help you, he's got, like the mafia is, beating on his door trying to have him pay up all of his gambling debts. So you're going to have to help him either escape from wherever it is that he's at safely, or deal with, the local mafia or whoever's trying to shake him down. Kind of a role reversal here from his normal for all his gambling debts. And then after you do so, you'll be able to get back to the Thieves Guild and continue on your journey. So I like it. That one was pretty straightforward of a character. And let's move on to character or scenario number 3, the cursed artifact. The party discovers a mysterious artifact that is cursed and causing havoc in a nearby town. They must find a way to break the curse and destroy the artifact before it can cause any more harm. They may need the help of an NPC wizard who has knowledge of ancient curses and magical artifacts and can help them unravel the mystery surrounding the cursed object. So I'm just going to ask ChatGPT a question here and see if it can give me just a little bit more information about this cursed object. Quick. Okay, so I just asked ChatGPT, can you give me some more information about what this cursed object is and what is it doing to the town? So certainly here's some more information. The cursed object is a large ornate statue that was recently unearthed by a group of adventurers who were exploring an ancient tomb. The statue depicts a powerful demon and is made of dark metallic material that is cold to the touch. As soon as the statue was brought back to the nearby town, strange things began to happen. Townsfolk started experiencing terrifying nightmares, and there were reports of strange noises and whispers coming from the statue's direction. Some people claimed that they had seen the statue move on its own, even though it had never been seen to do so before. As the days passed, the town's troubles grew worse, the nightmares became more frequent and intense, and people began to suffer from mysterious illnesses and accidents. It soon became clear that the statue was cursed and was causing all of the town's problems. The party must find a way to break the curse and destroy the statue before it causes any more harm. They may need to seek out an expert in ancient magic or demonology to help them figure out how to break the curse, or they may need to perform a dangerous ritual to banish the demon from the statue. Along the way, they'll likely encounter various obstacles and challenges, blah, 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 including cultists who worship the demon depicted in the statue who will stop at nothing to protect it. Okay, so that just, I was going to skip over that last part, but there's cultists now, so got to take that into account. Wouldn't be D&D or fantasy tabletop RPGs without cultists. All right, so let's roll a random name for our wizard character that the players know. I got a 13, and that came up as Seraphine Starling. So she seems like some sort of a star astrology or astronomy actually based wizard, so that could be kind of neat. So I went ahead and rolled all of my dice, and I got a 2, 1, 2, 10, 4, 4, and a 6. And just so you guys know, I have been re-rolling any duplicates from the previous one so we can see just more of the table entries as well. So, who owes who? 2, she owes you a favor, so that's good. Attitude was a 1, hostile / secretly hostile. So this immediately makes me start thinking that she is possibly involved with the cult. Why haven't you heard from them? 2, she is imprisoned. This could also go along with the cult scenario. Maybe she's either imprisoned by the cult or she's pretending to be imprisoned by the cult or something if she's maybe working with them. Let's see what else we get and continue on. What do they want? 10, she wants to execute a heist or robbery. So again, that hostile, secretly hostile, and heist or robbery. This could be breaking her out of prison, or it could be to get something else. So her hidden agenda was 4, seeking a treasure or artifact. So here, again, really easy spot to put in that heist, whatever it is that she is looking for. She is known for 4, forging documents and disguising oneself. Again, really feeling the cult. I feel like she's part of the cult here. And, she's hostile, secretly hostile. She may not be who you think she is, and she may be trying to use the party to actually not fix this demon statue problem, but actually make it worse. So I think this is a very interesting NPC that we've got so far. And then quirker personality with 6, constantly humming a particular song or tune. So maybe if she is disguised in different scenes, maybe she's in different scenes and she's, there's just this random NPC that always looks different, but she is constantly humming the same tune. So maybe that's a way that your players could pick up on the fact that there's always a different person humming the same tune. It's actually the same person. She's good at forging documents and disguising oneself. As a wizard, that should be fairly easy to do. There are some low-level magic spells, typically in a D&D game, and many other fantasy games as well, that would allow a wizard to disguise themselves. Seeking a treasure or artifact. I feel like going along with this demon statue. So there's a statue and there's a cult that's worshiping it and trying to kind of unlock its power. I feel like she is probably seeking some type of a key or magical object that will like unlock or unleash this demon or the power of the statue. And I feel like that is what she is actually after. she wants you to execute a heist or a robbery, so that makes me think that this object, this treasure or artifact, is probably being held in some type of secure location. So maybe there is a local government militia, some type of an armory or something that is kind of like a secure lockdown for magical artifacts. And actually, she is also imprisoned. It would, somewhat make sense that she's also in this like high security place, right? So then I guess that begs the question of how do you get a hold of them or how do you contact her? And so maybe there's some sort of a magical means that the players have to contact her, receive messages from her, maybe telepathically, maybe through some type of a magic item or something maybe in her home that she's, left some sort of a message for somebody to find saying, where she is, where she's in prison. She's in this like high security facility and, part of it is she needs to get broken up. Part of it is, hey, there's this key thing that she's probably going to tell the players is going to help destroy this demon statue, but actually she wants to use it to unlock the power of this and actually make things a heck of a lot worse. So I feel like you've got a pretty interesting setup for a heist to, prison break and heist to get the artifact in her. And then you go to the demon statue and you're going to, destroy the thing and surprise, she lied. The cult is there. They end up taking the key and unlocking this demon, and now you've got a big boss battle to deal with, right? So that could lead to a really interesting and fun kind of a twist. Actually, this is one of the first NPCs that we've made that really is hostile towards the players and could really provide a fun narrative twist for somebody they know. So this is the I Know a Guy random tables supplement that I put together. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you would like me to do more of these, I'm always up for that. You can find this on the Patreon. Again, I will leave a link in the description. So if you want to go over there and become a patron at any level, even just $1, you can pick this up. And even if you just want to pick it up and then cancel your subscription, that works too. I also will look at getting this published to Drive-Through RPG as well, so that if people want to just do a one-time support thing, they can go and find it over there. But this table was a lot of fun to put together, and I'm actually a little bit surprised at how well it's actually working for these 3 random scenarios that we've come up with. So if anybody does end up using this in their game, please let me know how it goes. I'm really excited. I haven't gotten a chance to actually play test it yet besides these 3 scenarios. So I'm really looking forward to actually running this in game. And with that, I hope everybody has a great weekend.